Hey, it's 𝗕𝗲𝗍𝗏 here, founder of the 𝗕𝗪𝗆 Foundation, self-healing coach, and the midwife to your personal alchemy.
I am 𝗕𝗃𝗄𝗏, founder of the 𝗕heaven Within Foundation, CEO of Lifestyle Finance Australia, finance expert, life and business coach.
And you are listening to Inspired Conversations,
where we talk about the things that really matter. Yes, we go there.
We share together what's exciting us, inspiring us, and having the most profound impact on our lives and our clients' lives. And we do this to elevate and inspire you.
We cover it all from life, body, love, relationships, trauma healing, addictions, business, money, and all things woo-woo.
So sit back, relax,
and get ready to be inspired and laugh the fuck out loud.
Welcome, everybody. This is 𝗕𝗲𝗍𝗏 and the delicious and delightful
𝗕𝗃𝗄𝗏, and you're listening to Inspired Conversations, and we have a super juicy episode for you today. And what are we going to be talking about, Em?
We're going to talk about being seen and how the fear of being seen in your business can be the biggest cock block ever to everything in your life. And I mean, it's not just in business, it's in relationships. It's being seen as who you really are, even with your friends, your lover, your family. It'll be the biggest cock block to joy and abundance and your massive manifestation skills.
Yeah. And it keeps you trapped. Like when this fear is here, it keeps you trapped in loops of like scarcity, from where you go from having your like back against the wall to fighting to get to a place of comfortable, and then you loop. Then as soon as you start to get comfortable, you hide back into your shell, and then you loop back around. So it can feel like when this is here, you're on perpetual loops of back against the wall, out of trouble, comfortable, back against the wall. And we really want to speak to this because I know for me, this definitely used to be one of my loops. As soon as I started getting comfortable, like, I don't have to keep pushing myself into that comfort zone of being seen again. And I would literally keep repeating the pattern. So this is one of those edges that continuously needs to get lent into at every level, because if you don't, you'll keep finding yourself in those loops. And we really wanted to bring this, bring some light to it and breathe some like fresh air into it and abundance, because for me, leaning into this edge has been one of the greatest shifts in my consistency with abundance. How's it been for you, Em?
Yeah, look, I'm just going to, if you don't mind, I'd love to share a story. As it's a personal story. This is my story.
I love your stories.
Thanks, Kel. Excuse, I am a little bit nasally, so excuse folks for hearing what you might be hearing in this podcast.
She survived COVID.
I am a survivor.
Survivor. What is it? I don't know. I'm not going to hurt their ears. It's an audio platform. I'm not going to sing for them. No.
We might lose our 733 listeners that we've got.
Right. Yep. Let's just back away.
So I, in 2014, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and many autoimmune diseases like celiac, chronic fatigue, all these kinds of things. And we're fast tracking to about 2016 right now, where I had healed myself. I was seeing clients, but I was too scared to tell anybody what I was doing. And what I was doing back then was I was doing a lot of, seeing a lot of clients with energy healing. I was at this NLP event, learning NLP. I wanted to learn more about mindset things rather than just the energy, because I knew I was missing something with my clients. So I went to this place and I was seeing clients. Like I was working at a chiropractic clinic, and one of the guys there was asking me what I was doing. And I said, look, I'm doing energy healing on the side. He said, I'll come and see you. And he spruiked me to all these people. So for someone who was hiding at that time, I didn't have to tell anyone what I was doing. It was kind of cool. So this guy was just referring. It was amazing. Anyway, I'm at this big event, and God, I think it was like day 18 of some, full-blown stunning NLP hypnotherapy. It was a full-blown event. It was fantastic. And big shout out to 𝗕𝗃𝗿𝗏 there, who taught me, amazing guy. And Anyway, I'm standing there and Shane actually came up to me and said, you know, I was looking at your socials and you're not on social media. Like, you don't tell anyone what you do. I went, oh, no, I can't, Shane. He goes, why not? I went, no, I'm too scared. I said, what would people think? Like, no one knows me as an energy healer, or they just think I'm, you know, I'm dickhead Emma. Like, I'm really kind of dumb. And he goes, you what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm really dumb. Like, I failed year 8 twice. I'm not very, very bright. He goes, but hang on, didn't you heal yourself of MS? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, what about your clients? I went, oh, huge results, like incredible results. And he goes, don't you think it's a bit selfish for you not to tell people that you have this magical way that you can actually help people? And I went, oh, maybe, yeah, but no, I'm too scared. I'm too scared. And he goes, well, Emma, what if you weren't scared about that? What would your life look like? And then he walked away from me and he just let me ponder it.
Don't you love it when they do that to you?
Don't you love it when they fuck your minds up like that? Thank you,
it's like they just drop a bomb and walk away and you're left there. And it's like when you see the wheel on your computer spinning around and it's just spinning.
Yes.
Like, oh.
And then next thing, my imagination started going kind of wild. And I'm sitting there going, wow. Now, at the time, I was making about $19,000 a year on my own energy program, right? Mm-hmm. Which is great for me because I was broke and I thought that was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now it wasn't so great, right?
Right.
And literally after that, I just went, oh my God, no one's putting me in this little secret corner except for me. So I decided that day that I would do something really brave. And I went on Facebook. Don't worry, I didn't do a live. I wasn't that dramatic, right? I wasn't that drastic. I just did a little post saying, hey, I just want you all to know that for the last couple of years, I've actually been seeing clients since, since I've healed myself of MS, and I've been getting really great, progress with my clients. And I was shitting myself. Like, I'm not joking. I had to do a nervous poo, a nervous wee, a little bit of vomit came up my throat, and I'm just waiting for the onslaught. And I got nothing but, oh my God, Emma, you're amazing.
That's awesome. Were you brave enough to put a picture of you with it, or was it just a post?
I can't actually remember. I think I did put a photo of me, and
you were real brave.
𝗕𝗯𝗇𝗏. I know, we're at 𝗕𝗯𝗇𝗏, and I was there with my son Jack. We're both learning NLP, and it might have been a photo of us, I think, now I'm remembering, on the beach together. So
well done.
You know, we all hide. We're all hiding from something. I mean, just recently, I've been hiding from, I hide behind a thing that I do a lot, which Kelly's been helping me get out of, and that's fawning. You know, I fawn a lot. Too. Yeah, I'm very generous. I overgive in so many ways. And it's my way of kind of hiding me, saying no to people, which is like one of the hardest things for me to do. But when you actually come out from the shadows and you stop hiding, the whole world just opens up for you. You know, from me in 2016, it was October, I remember it, and $19,000 to now I'm a very wealthy woman.
Yeah.
And I don't just mean with money, like with love. I look at my relationship with my husband compared to now to 2016. It is so rich and beautiful. My relationships with friendships, like with you, Kel. When you come out of your hiding and that not being seen, I can't be seen, when you allow yourself to be seen, it's like you give universe or God the permission to go, oh God, now there she is, or there he is.
Oh, I can find her. Now I can give her the
good. All right, now I can start giving her stuff, like really juicy stuff, really high frequency, amazing stuff. So that's my little story, Kel. Hope you all enjoyed that story.
I loved it. And it's such a powerful story. Like when we're looking at the fear of being seen, it comes from when we were little, if we have a deep need to be seen and accepted and validated in the expression of our most authentic self. And what happens if we get shamed in that expression every time we have to do something that forces us to be seen? So like what you were talking about with your story, Em, like actually sharing with the world, I was given what for most people could be a terminal illness and healed myself. And I've been taking what I've learned and healing other people and getting significant results with it. If we, when we were little, if we perceived ourselves as being shamed in that expression, when we go to share something that really needs to be shared with the world, we're terrified because we don't ever want to feel that shame, rejection, hurt, whatever it was we felt when we were little trying to express ourselves, and it stops us. And it goes even further, like in relationships, you touched on it about this fawning thing. I also would hide behind fawning in my relationships because I wouldn't want to express my feelings because I didn't want to have to deal with the other people's hurt or hurt them. So I would hide my hurt and not let it be seen to keep the peace. Same thing, same reason you do it. But this is like when we're talking about really being seen and it being the doorway and the opening to all the magical things in our life, this is what we're pressing against. And we need to remember that it's not the adult us, because the adult us can handle it, but that's not who's showing up to the plate when we're having to do these big bold things. It's the 2-year-old, the 3-year-old, because at like that 2, 3, like 3 is such a critical age where we're really starting to develop our personality, and we're starting to get that ego part of us, which is learning us to express our unique self and learning the difference of I versus being the same as everyone else. So it's really interesting, like watching this, and to be successful in business, in relationships, even in the relationship with yourself and how you take care of yourself. Like we need to go back and do the healing here. Like even for me, like if I look at some of the decisions that I had made, like how my journey before finance, I was stripping. And stripping was really easy for me because I could make anywhere between 2 to 3 grand for working 3 nights. And then what I did with that money, I took that money and I plugged it into my education so I could learn NLP, I could learn coaching, marketing, all of the information I needed to be great. But when it come to actually launching the campaigns to make that business work, didn't do it. Instead, I went back to stripping to get more money to do more education because I thought that's what I needed more of. But what I really needed was to draw a line in the sand and start being okay with being seen. And obviously, fast forward, what are we now? Gosh, since then, I don't know, 7 years later, it's very different. But even still, if I look at from how even 2 years ago, I had no social presence. So with my finance brokerage, because my coaching business didn't work, because I didn't want to be seen, I didn't want to do the posts, and I was, but not at the level that it really needs to have a successful coaching business. I wasn't consistent. I was doing it, it just wasn't consistent, and it wasn't enough. So when I went into finance, it was great. And then I had this really unique offer, is that I could finance coaching programs. For the first time ever, that meant coaches could get paid in full from day one, and clients could say yes to $10,000 programs that they never would have been able to before because they could get it at like $53 a week, and most people have $53 a week. And that was great because I didn't have to be seen. My product was so unique to the space. It literally spread like wildfire, and I had the referrals, just like you had that one client, Em, that sent you all of the referrals. It was awesome. And then I even told myself, my belief is that my services are so unique and so valuable, I've got a waiting list for people to work with me. And it happened, right? No, it happened. And this was great. But again, still not having to push through that barrier of being seen. It happened for me. And then it was when my friend Alan, who does he's got this awesome company. They literally do all of your filming, like 3 months worth of video content. They automate it, they systemate it. You spend one afternoon and they take care of the rest. It's amazing. Anyway, he just started in his business and he's saying to me, you've got no social presence. Let me do something for you. And I was like, yeah, but Alan, I don't need any social presence. I've got this waiting list of people wanting to work with me. I don't need to market. And I was so proud that I didn't have to market because I didn't have to be seen. He's like, you've got some really valuable things to say and share. I think you need to start doing something.
Yeah,
and sharing it. And I was like, oh, and he's like, come on, I'll do you a really good deal. And he gave me like an irresistible offer. I couldn't think, my only answer was yes. So anyway, and I did, but when I was doing that, and like, mind you, by this point, I'd been through like coach training, speaker training, I run events. I'm really great speaking with somebody else like this. I don't even get nervous a little bit. But then when it comes to standing in front of a camera on my own, talk about the top lip sweat, the under boob sweat, the underarm sweat, to talk about things that I talk about every day, because I knew it was going to be seen by an audience that doesn't necessarily know me. And then even though unconscious, like it was the unconscious fear of judgment, criticism, rejection, that was what was causing the physiological response. And it was great that he had it because he just pressed send and I didn't really have much control over it. So it was done anyway. But that, like, even that still when I record, and depending upon if I'm talking about more personal things and I'm not talking about finance product, but I'm talking more personally about myself, my experiences, and more in the coaching space, I still feel that pinch on the being seen, versus if I'm standing behind a product and talking about a product, do that all day long, because it's not me being seen, it's the product being seen. Yeah. So it's really interesting watching this and the evolution of the growth in it. These days, I'm just happy to press play and get on. And if I sweat, I sweat, you know, like that uncomfortable muscle has been pushed through. And usually most times that I post something that ends up, there's almost like a tangible result between how that particular piece has had a client come through the business. But it wasn't like that. And it didn't start like that. And it was such a long process to get there. And it's continuous work and commitment, but it's worth it.
Definitely. Yeah, it is continuous. And you know, when we sit in that I don't want to be seen, again, it is from our childhood. And you know, just this morning I was on Facebook and this beautiful video came up, and it goes for the length of a song. It's 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And it's a young dad, and he's got a little girl there. I think she's probably about two and a half maybe. And she's throwing a tantrum, like she's screaming, she's kicking, she's doing all the things. And he's just so present with her. He's just making sure she's safe, and he's just letting her go. But he will not leave her alone. He won't walk away from her. He's not trying to shush her up. He's really allowing her the space to feel all those feels. And then she calms herself down, and then she goes up and she gives him a big cuddle, and she has a little screaming fit again while she's hugging daddy, but he's just got her. And I'm like, wow, do you know what? If that kid has a father like that, she probably will never have the problems of I'm too scared to be seen in her adulthood.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're taught as if a child throws a tantrum, punish them.
Yeah, send them to their room.
In their bedroom. Yeah, put them in their bedroom. You know, really, we're abandoning that child at the time when they really need somebody. And we're telling them right then and there, you know what? I'll only have you at your best. I don't want you at your worst. So when we're standing up as an adult, and we've got all this playing in the background in our belief systems and our unconscious mind, and not only that, you know, our traumas are not stored in our brain. Our brain actually deletes the memory, but our body remembers the trauma. So we hold it in our body. So our brain, we might be going, oh, why can't I just do a Facebook Live? Why can't I tell people that I'm a fucking kick-ass bloody this or that, or I make the best pies in the world, or I make the best coffee in the world? Why can't I fucking say that? It's because there is so much trauma in our bodies that it's going, we haven't healed this trauma. Please don't add more. And that's why it's so important to really just go into the body and go, hey, it's okay. We're okay now. I've got you. Doesn't matter what other people say. doesn't matter what other people do. And this is the big takeaway from this. Something I teach a lot in my mentoring is don't keep looking for the outcome. Don't put all your money on the outcome. The outcome may never happen for what you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to enjoy and just fall in love with the journey, the good parts and the shit parts, because the shit parts you'll learn about the most. You'll learn about yourself the most, not the good parts.
I've definitely learned them. Yeah, I've learned the most in not getting what I wanted.
100%.
Or not having the thing more than I have in actually getting the thing.
100%, 100%. So the outcome is you want to change the outcome instead of being, hey, I want to be successful and I want this amount of clients, or I want this and I want that. You want the outcome to be, I am going to enjoy every step of getting to where I need to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then just each step, instead of going, right, maybe I'm here, I'm earning $20 and I want to be earning, instead of earning $20 an hour, I want to be earning $2,000 an hour. Don't just enjoy that time and go, right, to be earning $2,000 dollars an hour, I have to be this person, that person, this person, that person. Just enjoy every step getting towards that goal. Because you'll take one step forward and you'll take a couple of steps back, and then you'll take 3 steps forward and you'll take 1 step back. It's all part of it. But this is what I'm going to challenge our listeners with, Kel.
Great.
Are you ready for
I'm
a
ready.
challenge, everyone?
Yes.
I challenge you this. Sit down with yourself in a really quiet space and just go into the pain body of where not being seen has taken you. Like, what are you missing out on? Who have you upset along the way? Because I know when I was not being seen, I would want things, but I wouldn't want to go out and get them myself. So say if I wanted $5,000 for another workshop, I was like you, Kel. I was doing all the workshops, but I wasn't doing anything really with them. I was doing it secretly, right?
Yes.
And so I'm like, did all the marketing, but never would market myself.
Yeah, spend the big bucks on the courses.
Huge, like $5,000, $8,000, $15,000, $40,000. Yeah, right? All the things, yeah. But then I would turn to my mum, this is years ago, it's like 7 years ago, and say, Mummy, can you lend me $7,000? She goes, no, like, you have to get the money yourself. And I felt, and then it would be heart-wrenching. Why don't you give it to, you don't understand. She said, yeah, but you don't understand. I can keep giving you the money, but you've got to do the work. You're not doing the work. You're turning up at these events. You're singing Kumbaya, my Lord. You're not doing anything with it. And then you're asking me for the handout. And she goes, I've done the hard work. I've been there. I've done that. This is your turn now. And she pissed me off when she said it.
Well, I bet she did.
It was, but it was the best thing. And I went, right, get your big girl pants on and act like a fucking adult, Emma.
Yeah.
Because the entitlement that was coming out from me of, I had every excuse under the sun. And the pain of not actually sharing to the world of what I did was people were suffering because I have these processes that just save lives, simple as that. And I wasn't telling anyone about them.
Yeah. And it's like the bit that you said about like you have to do the work. It's like not just you have to do the work, you have to do the right work.
That's right.
Because even then back then, and I know I definitely would have, but I am doing the work. I'm doing the stuff on me. I'm learning the things. And it's like, yeah, but you're not doing the uncomfortable thing.
Yeah. It's the uncomfortable stuff. That's where, that's why I ask you, sit down with a pen and paper, light a candle, get yourself some really beautiful filtered water, a ceremonial cacao, a cup of really warm cacao, and sit there and go, me not being seen, where am I fucking my life up with this?
Yeah. What is it costing me?
Yeah. What's it costing me? And it'll be costing you in your relationships, in your spirituality, in your money, in your business, friendships, with your lover. It will leak into every part of your life.
Yeah.
You know, it's very big. It's
Yeah,
very big.
and particularly with like, there's a piece that without going into too much detail of it, but around this, like not letting yourself be seen for your true feelings or true expression in a relationship, and fawning, meaning that you make somebody else's needs more important than your own. What you're actually doing is creating false realities for all the people around you.
Yes.
So they think one thing's happening, and they're living in accordance to them and taking you at face value, yet you're living in a completely different reality.
Yes.
And it's costing you immense connection and intimacy. And it's also costing you hurt and resentment. So like in these spaces, like when you're looking at this, like if you're looking at it from a financial perspective, like what is this costing you in your business? What is this costing you from a tangible financial standpoint? Like it could even be like in your job at work, if you're putting in all these extra hours and you're doing all these extra things, but you're not telling your boss about it so they know, how the fuck are they ever going to see you and reward you for it? And you're wondering why you get passed over all the time for the promotion and it goes to Bob, who's always in the boss's face. Of course, because Bob's making sure the boss sees him. But if you're doing all the work and not making sure that the person's seeing you, well, what, like, if we only function within our own chunks of awareness, being that we've only got so much that we can focus on, and you can't expect somebody else to read your mind. Like, you've got to use your words. You've got to let people know. Like, you've got to, this is your permission to take up space. This is your permission to say what you've done. This is your permission to share with the world, like, the gifts that you have, even if it makes you feel uncomfortable. And that exercise, Em, that you mentioned, like, write down, what is it costing you? What was it, the question? What was your question?
Yeah, write down, me not being seen. How's that fucking my life
up? Yeah.
You know, what's this costing me? And my future, what's it costing your future?
Yeah. And yeah, I used to know somebody that would always talk about this 7 out of 10 pain point, is that typically we won't shift unless the pain of where we are is greater than the pain of change. So until we make the pain of where we are greater than the pain of change, you're going to keep sitting in the loop. So that's why this exercise that Em's talking about, like writing down, how is this fucking up my life? What is it costing me by me not allowing myself to be seen? And go through each area of life. What is it costing you with your health? What is it costing you financially in your business or in your career? And what is it costing you in your relationships? And that will definitely bump that scale to you want to bump that scale to a 10 out of 10. So the pain of staying where you are becomes so uncomfortable that you're compelled to allow yourself to start being seen, even if it feels scary.
Oh, and it will. You know,
it's not going to feel good.
Yeah, you know, you feel the pain, you do it anyway. It's safe to do. It is safe to be seen. It just, we have this fear in our bodies. It's literally trapped somewhere in our body because of what happened to us as children. And I mean, it can be as simple as this. Say you've got a 3-year-old and you've given them a lollipop and they're running around the house, and you take it out of their mouth. They're squealing with delight. They're all having fun. They're running around the house. Yeah, you know, and as a mother, what am I thinking? If my daughter falls over, they're going to die, right? Yep. So you take the lollipop out of the mouth and go, off you go. You go run, darling, but you don't run with the lollipop. What's a 3-year-old going to do? Crack the shits, right? Now, it's going to crack the shit. So I'm going to go, no, I'm going to try and reason with that child. So already the child's traumatized because one, in her little his or her little happy state, and I've broken that state by pulling out this lollipop. Now for the 3-year-old, she doesn't care about safety. She's just looking, I'm having a good time and mummy stopped it. Now mummy's yelling at me. Now I'm not allowed to have a good time. So I'm either not allowed to run or I'm not allowed to have the lollipop. Now I have to sit still and eat the lollipop, and the lollipop's not as much fun. So can you imagine all these belief systems that are just occurring in this 3-minute or 2-minute freaking scene?
Everyday scene.
And it's an everyday scene. You know, another one is like you can a 3 or a 4-year-old can be drawing the most beautiful photo, runs up to mummy and says, "Mummy, look at my picture." "Yes, darling." "Mummy just really needs to go to the toilet." "Hang on, darling." "Yeah, but mummy, look at hang on, mummy's about to wet herself. Mummy needs to go to the toilet." "Oh, mummy doesn't want to look at my painting." It's an everyday scene.
Yeah. Or even that same scene, except instead of that being on a piece of paper, it's all over the walls.
That's exactly right. With poo,
With
you know?
That's next level. I was going for crayons, but sure, let's go with poo.
With poo. There's just so many scenarios that you go through day to day where, how do you feel that as when you're a child, how do you think you might have taken that? Not from your adult state, from your 3 and 4-year-old state.
If I'm in bliss in my creative expression with my poo all over the wall and I get in trouble for that, I've just been shamed for my creativity. And exactly. I've been very creative.
Yes, exactly. You know, so that's all it is. The only reason you don't want to be seen is because shit happened to you as a kid. Guess what? You're no longer a kid. So one of the greatest things you can do as an adult, now I'm 51 right now, I can go back to 3-year-old little Emma. I can imagine her in my eyes. I can give her a little hug and go, "Baby, you are so safe to be seen. I love you so much. You're gorgeous." And you can actually feel that heal. Like you can imagine her little heart against my heart. I'm just holding her and go, "You run with that chopper chop, baby. You just run around."
Yeah, you can't hurt yourself in the quantum.
You play with your poo, baby girl. You go. You know, and then that heals. It's like, that's okay. It's okay to be seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to know, you know, how you go, because it's one thing to be looking at the light stuff and be going, "Oh yeah, kumbaya, my lord. Look at the light. Look at the light." But you could be standing in a big pile of dog poo, and sometimes, you know, we just need to look at our dog poo.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the work. That's the work. It's not it's great to do gratitude. It's so fucking important to do gratitude, and it's so important to be thankful. It really is. But we have to look at what we're standing in and our habits and our behaviors, because we'll only manifest our habits and our behaviors.
Yeah. And this is something you work quite deeply with your clients, isn't it?
Oh yes, very, very deeply, very deeply. Because that's the shift.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing to meditate, it's one thing to listen to podcasts, music, read books, it's great. But you've got to get pen and paper, and you've got to be held. You need someone there to work with you one by one, right there with you.
Yeah. So if one of our listeners were sort of like knowing that they were going around that loop where they kind of get their back against the wall and they do a bunch of stuff to kind of get seen, get comfortable, and then kind of slip back, they could get in contact with you to do some deep change work around that.
Get in contact with me. Get in contact with me. I do have a big waiting list. That's okay. We love a waiting list, but I have trained over 360 practitioners worldwide in what I do. So if I'm not the fit, I have over 360 people I can refer you to. So you are deeply, deeply loved, deeply, deeply nurtured and cared. I've got peeps for everybody.
I love it. And yeah, look, and if the pain isn't enough to motivate you, like I know for me, when Alan was saying to me, right, we need to get you a social presence, within the last 2 years, I've over doubled my business size and income. I probably tripled my business and personal income.
We should give Alan a shout out. Alan Howell,
he's awesome. If you want to get some social presence, if you want to get seen and you want somebody else to help you and press the post button across all social platforms so that it kind of happens in the background, he's definitely the guy to go to. 𝗕𝗃, I think his business name is 𝗕𝗃. Yeah.
𝗕𝗃, Alan Howell is a great guy, really, really great guy. Yeah. I work with him as well. It's amazing.
Yeah, he does all of our podcasts too. We film it. He makes it go places.
Yeah, exactly. He makes us look good.
Yeah. All right, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for listening today. I know this is a big one. This is your ticket to break through to the next level of abundance. This is our challenge to you to sit down and actually write out, like, what is it costing you? How is like not allowing yourself to be seen fucking your life up in your personal life, in your professional life, and in your relationships?
And guys, when you're sitting down and doing that process, don't do it when you're in a shit space, by the way. Do it when you're in a good space. You know, don't do it when you're all depressed and sad. Do it when you're in a good space, because you'll see the reason on why you need to do it. But I'm here for you guys. I'm here. I love you all.
If you want help, reach out to Em. She's your girl, and she has got your back.
Yeah, definitely. Always. Love you guys. Kel, love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.